How did it affect you kind of directly during the game? Didn't look like you were too affected, at least from the outside looking in. But
it wasn't too bad. I think just trying to explode off of it was in the back of my mind a little bit, but it was pretty good. I think before I got here, we spent like 2 hours just icing it and kind of massaging it, trying to get it ready for the game, and they taped it, so it was pretty good.
You guys watched the tape of the Stanford games defensively. What stood out more, biggest takeaways?
I didn't watch the game yet, but I think there wasn't really anything to take away from it. We played the same type of defense versus Cal. I think last couple of games we've been playing really good defense. I think we just got to win, so now everyone's kind of like, oh my goodness, the defense saved you guys. But I think the last couple of games we've been playing really good defense.
Hey, just like how important was it for you guys to win a game when your offense wasn't scoring 85 points and when you had to win a game that's kind of back and forth and like slug it out?
Again, all of our games have been like that. I think besides the preseason, we haven't really had a blowout game in conference. All of our games have been overtime, going back and forth, even though it's a lot of scoring, but this game is still kind of back and forth. I think the biggest part of week one is just adjusting to the defense on the fly. First, the zone kind of bothered us in the first half, and then the second half we kind of adjusted to it. Then we started playing better that way.
Andrew, it sounds like from what Coach said, Oregon State will probably try to play a lot of zone, and obviously you guys saw a lot of zone against Stanford. In your history, when you have kind of back-to-back games where maybe not necessarily similar styles, but maybe similar philosophies, does that help kind of getting one game like that under your belt to kind of figure things out a little bit better, maybe be a little bit more efficient the second time?
Yeah, I think so, and the fact that Stanford's third lineup was so big, I think that's what Oregon State had in the past this year. They're not as big or not as long on the wings. So I think with Stanford's zone, it was all like 6'9", 6'9", 6'5", and Oregon State's a little bit shorter. So just having that look and having it be longer than the Oregon State zone will help us out a lot.
And Dejounte, I mean, obviously with your success being able to drive against those guys and being able to score the way you were, how excited are you to maybe kind of see maybe a similar type look on Wednesday?
Like you said, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of teams zoned this before the Stanford, but I feel like Stanford's zone was the best zone that we faced this year so far, and because it was long, and I mean, we can't, let that stuff stop us from doing what we're supposed to do. Like, I mean, teams gonna zone and they're gonna man us, and that's what we practice for. We practice zoning every day. We practice man, so. I feel like we'll be all right as a team.
Is it harder to get to the rim against a zone defense?
I don't feel like it's too hard because something has to give if you move the ball around, and that's what been our main focus, is moving the ball and trying to get through the gaps and us guards the floater to the rim or somebody's wide open. So I mean that's pretty much what we try to do.
Do you feel good about the shots you guys have gotten the last couple of games? I know as a team you haven't shot a very high percentage, but Coach seemed to think the shot selection was okay at least.
Yeah, I feel like we've been getting really good shots, just like, Drew was saying, defense ain't been a problem. We've been playing really good defense, and the offense end, we just couldn't score. We couldn't get the ball to go in the hoop a lot of these past games, but I feel like we have been getting good shots as man or in zone.
There anything you could do to help you get those shots to go down, or is it just as simple as they don't go in sometimes?
I mean, you miss some, you make some, so we're just gonna keep shooting as a team. Everybody gonna keep shooting.
Coach was saying that early in the season, you guys were having 2.5-hour practices, and now it's basically been cut in half just to maybe keep fresh, keep the legs going and stuff. Do you feel like you guys can still get the same types of things accomplished that you need to?
I think so. I think earlier in the season, the practice was long because it's more so teaching. I think now, being towards the end of the season, the teaching goes down, and now it's just applying what you learn, which makes the practices shorter. So I think that's probably the biggest thing behind cutting down practices, make sure we can apply what we learned earlier on in the season.
Do they still feel it's tough? I mean,
they're high intensity, but with it being shorter, it's not as bad. I mean, usually with the 2-hour ones or however long it was, you would go hard, stop, learn, then go hard again. Now it's constantly just going hard, so I think it helps our window a little bit more.
Andrew, as a captain, how do you try to help a teammate who's going through a bit of a slump?
Just tell them to keep shooting. I think it's important to always have support. I think there's never been a history, a player in history who hasn't gone through a bad shooting slump or even just playing bad overall for a while. So just making sure they know they have support from the teammates, from me, from the coaching staff, and tell them to keep shooting.
Gary Payton's certainly a catalyst for the Beavers. What does he do that's disruptive or dangerous when you're trying to guard him?
He does a little bit of everything. I think he's one of the only players leading the team in every stat possible. I think he's leading them like points, blocks, steals, rebounds, all of that. So you just got to be aware of him every time he's on the court. I think offensively he's a great slasher. He likes offensive rebounding, one of the best in our conference offensive rebounding from any position. Just he can do everything.
Just another road trip for you, or you taking a few mental snapshots because this is your home state?
For me, it's just another road trip. I don't really look too much into the whole going back home. The only thing that changes is more people that I know at the game. So for me, it's not that big of a deal.
Couple more
Do
guys.
you have family there?
Yeah.
You watched OSU play much this year?
I saw a couple games because I'm close to Gary, but so I saw him play Kansas, then saw him play Utah, and ended up winning a couple more games to that, like Colorado, the teams that beat us. Try to see what they did when they beat Washington State, when they beat Oregon State or lost.
Pretty much every team plays better at home than they do on the road, but they play like way better at home than they do on the road. Is there anything you've seen about them that you could point to why that is, or?
I don't have an answer for that. It's been that way since I've been in this league or whatever. Since I've been at University of Washington, they always seem to play really well at home. Could be their fan support, could be they're comfortable playing at home, but we just got to go in there. We play good on the road, so I think it's a good game.
Yeah, baby boy, do you feel like a Frosh still, or do you feel like a seasoned vet now that you're almost 25, 26 games in?
I mean, I'm just ready to hoop.